Dating someone with ADHD has its own set of unique challenges. It can be an incredible adventure, but it can also be quite hard. If you're here, chances are you are either dating someone who has ADHD or you just want to know a little bit more about how you can support a potential partner who happens to have ADHD. Today's video, I'll try to dig a little bit deeper into the relationship that you might have when you're dealing with someone who has ADHD, and also give you some tips and tricks on how you can best support them and thus getting a better relationship. ADHD, or hyperactive attention deficit disorder, is a worldwide phenomenon. Having ADHD is not something that just stops when you're off work or off school. It's something that keeps impacting every aspect of your life, whether it's school, work, or in this case, relationships. Dating someone who has ADHD, there are quite a big chance that you have seen their oddities. They might have a lot of energy, they might have big highs and big lows, they might be very creative and have a deep sense of empathy towards you. And they may also have incredible passion for the things they do, at least for a short amount of time. But you might also be frustrated about the lack of commitment, the lack of planning and missed deals, and they might have forgotten a piece of clothing for the kids, or they might have forgotten to change a diaper, or they might have forgotten to do X, Y, and Z. But let's just start with the positives when it comes to having a partner who has ADHD. Because ADHD can, in certain circumstances, actually be a superpower. People who have ADHD are typically very spontaneous. They have a deep passion and they have high amounts of empathy. Not only that, but they're also very, very loyal to their partners. They have a rather unique sense of seeing the world. And that can give an incredible excitement to life, but it can also, and that can bring a lot of excitement to your life and perspective to your already established relationships. You might not have seen this type of perspective before until you have met this someone. However, some of the negatives are that ADHD also have a ton of challenges when it comes to dealing with relationships in general. They typically have trouble with time management, impulsivity, occasional commitment breakdowns. These aren't flaws yet. It might seem like flaws, but they are actually just the way their brain are wired. And they're traits that a lot of people with ADHD have in common. They can actually be helped with communication and openness to one another. And this is of course why you are probably here. So how can you make it work? Here are some tips that you can follow and hopefully make the situation a little bit easier. First and foremost, practice patience. Yes, this is easier said than done. It can be incredibly frustrating when you have a partner who might be 20, 30, 40 years old and they have the mental planning capacity of a toddler. But you gotta understand that it takes time for most people with ADHD. They have to understand that they're not trying deliberately to miss plans or forget things. But you gotta be open with them and communicate, and everything comes with time. So you keep giving them some time. Be patient with them, because there is probably nothing more they want than to make you happy. Clear communication. This is so important. People who has ADHD and who are a man typically need clear instructions. We need that. We can't just always be figuring out things between the lines. We need you to tell us exactly what you want and exactly how you want it, and we will do the best we can to make that happen. Trust me, it's something I have dealt with my girlfriend a lot, and she has been so frustrated on me, but trust me, you need that clear communication. 3, you gotta work as a team. Yes, this is very important too. You gotta come up with a plan together, and this will also be a bonding exercise. People with ADHD, as I said, typically have a hard time planning and structure their daily routines. So you can sit down with them and talk to them, clear communication, talk to them about what they can do to what you can do to help them, but also how they can better help you. So in a sense, you gotta help yourself here. But trust me, when you have a good system together and clear guidelines, it becomes so much easier for people with ADHD to manage all of this. One thing that I hate personally, is when I have to do new things. We can learn new things, But it's hard to do them because we forget. If we follow a strict routine every day, every person does this. We have I think 80% of our daily routines are, as I said, routines. There's something we do, we don't know why, we just do them. We condition to them. And when you have ADHD, this is more important than for a regular non-ADHD person, because we need to know what to do in every scenario, because we're spending so much mental energy just comprehending the entire world around us. So give us a good guideline, a good plan, so we can follow through with it and we don't disappoint you, because we also feel frustrated when we disappoint you, trust me. The fourth one is focus on the positives. Most people have a tendency to actually take out their whip and just to lash it. You didn't do this, you didn't do the dishes, you didn't wash up, you didn't clean, you didn't XYZ. No, you gotta be good and positive about what they did right. So if you see we do the dishes, we might not do it to your standard, because we tend to sometimes just want to get over with it pretty quickly. And so you spill a little bit, it doesn't matter. Oh, the plate, okay, it wasn't stacked correctly. Who cares? There's a little dirt here, nobody. You gotta be prepared to say, that's fine, honey. You might be angry, but you gotta deal with it. Just be positive and say, so thankful for you to do the dishwashing or the cleaning, even if it's not even if it's not on par with your standard. It would be so much better for us, because you will encourage us to keep going to do that. We want dopamine. That's what our brain, the brain of an ADHD is an addiction almost. We want dopamine, and by giving us positivity and encouragement, you are releasing a ton of dopamine to us. And thus we will do the same motion over and over, because it gives us a good reward, right? We are exceptional susceptible to dopamine releases. So find ways where you can give us the most dopamine, which is through positivity and confirmation and affection, and you will see how we will just evolve with the task you're giving us. Before you get the fifth and final advice, guys, which is the number one most important one, I want you to like and subscribe if you like this channel. I really hope to see you. I'm a smaller YouTuber right now, and I really want to give you my best tips. The fifth advice I have for you guys is to always try to make things into a game. Go online and figure out how you can release dopamine as much as possible. Again, I just mentioned through positivity, but there are other ways you can do it. We love games, and everything that gives us an instantaneous gratification or reward, that is just gonna beat everything else. So if you want us to do something and you feel like we're not listening, we're on our phone while you're talking to us, well, it might be because you're not stimulating enough. And it sounds harsh, but that's actually the truth. And it's not because you're not interesting. No, it's just that while you're talking, we might have a lot of thoughts in our brain. And so a good way to do this is by keep looking at us and keep seeing how we respond. Keep giving us dopamine. Make your communication, again, a little bit shorter. Find a way to give us that instant gratification we need and we crave. One way you can do this is by giving us a hug or a kiss whenever we have done something good. And this is something I respond on really well. So I just want to throw that out to you. So keep that in mind. Always know that our brain works as an addict's brain. We want the dopamine, and we want it right now. So dating someone with ADHD is both a curse and a blessing, but it can be more a blessing or a curse depending on how you view it. It's not easy. It's really not. And you might want to give up because you're dating, well, let's just be honest, a giant toddler probably. But with open and clear communication, a bit of understanding, patience, and of course the knowledge about them wanting instant gratification, you can get so far, and you can really help your partner, because I'm sure your partner loves you, and if you just follow these tips, I'm sure you will also feel a little bit better about yourself, because you are giving them as much as possible. If you have enjoyed this video and you found it useful, please like and subscribe and follow me on the channel. I would really love that. I want to see so many more of you. And if you have tips, go on and write them down below. I read every comment, and I will probably also reply to them, because I want to know more tips about what works for you. And if you have any comments about my style of videoing, or taping, or filming, whatever, editing, also feel free to throw a message down below, and I will check them out. Thank you, everyone. Bye bye.